So, welcome to another episode of Global from Asia podcast, episode 374. So, today we have a special guest, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Daniel Fernandez about Amazon. Oh, you could say hacks, but basically really optimizing your Seller Central experience. So, you ready for this, Aubrey?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
So, today we're going to have Dan Fernandez. I believe he has also been on our podcast before, and he will share some hacks on the Amazon. And basically, it will be really grateful or really helpful for our community, especially those in the e-commerce space.
Yeah, for sure. Daniel is great. He's very, very detail oriented, and he always dives deep into Seller Central. Like he says on the show, he does this as an agency full time for so many years, and he doesn't hold back. Gives a lot of great insights. And he's spoken at, of course, on our podcast, but there's also been at least a couple of our events, Aubrey. And I think we should also mention, maybe we can talk about it more after the interview, but we're having our next big event for the Global from Asia community, Cross-Border Matchmaker, right? Save the date, everybody. What dates are they?
Yeah, June 16 and 17. So better cross that date for the CVM.
Yeah, save those dates. It's going to be epic. We'll maybe share some tips of how to prepare for that after the interview. Also, Daniel will do a private session in a couple of weeks for the GFA VIP private members. Aubrey is helping arrange that mastermind. So the date will be provided to our members. And also Daniel gives a little bit of a bonus. We talked about it after the interview. So if you guys want a free bonus from Daniel, we'll share that also after this interview. So let's tune in. Aubrey, ready?
Ready? Let's go.
And thank you to our sponsor, our returning sponsor, Mercury.com, online bank. Well, it's a real bank, but you can do it totally online for US. Our Blimp program participants are going through this as well. Thank you, Mercury. Travis is great there. He's been on our show. He's been in our events. We're going to have another event where we will have them attending as well. And if you want to get a little bonus for you and us, if you sign up and do some special circumstances, you can go to globalfromasia.com/Mercury. I also have a video tutorial that we use even for the Blimp people. I use the same exact video to learn how to use it. I hope you can check it out. Totally free. Why not? See you there. Okay, everybody, thanks for tuning in to our Global from Asia podcast. It's been wild, Mac. Years are flying by. Daniel Fernandez from AMZ Clever. You've been on the show before. I think maybe you were. I think it was one of the first podcasts you were a guest on. Maybe
probably a few years ago,
something like that. And you've been an amazing speaker at our events at Cross Border Summit and Cross-Border Matchmaker and others. So it's been a pleasure to, get to see you developing and growing your business and your abilities. I always appreciate you coming on the show and sharing. So thank you, Daniel, for coming on.
Awesome. Back to be great to be back in Asia, even if it's virtually.
It is. I know, right? Yeah. So, before it hit the record button, you were chatting, you left China right before COVID, right? Or maybe you can share a little bit of the story, last few years of your adventures or travels, maybe not fun parts, but your.
Well, I caught the last flight from the city I was living in January 2020. Before that route got shut, and then ended up in Bali, Indonesia. That's when I closed my China chapter. And then did 2 years in Bali, and it feels like so long ago,
dude. Yeah, I think and now you're in the US, which is really cool, for a few months only, or
I moved back towards the end of last year.
Okay.
And excited to be back here in the US.
Yeah, there's I have regulars, friends tell me move back, or I think it's true, like with our skills and our ability and our perspective in Asia and China applied back to the States probably is a pretty big advantage, for
you can start global from USA.
Yeah. I don't know. A few years ago, I was even talking about on the podcast. I registered to still keep it globalfromanywhere.com because the A, so it's because I usually say GFA, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I did a poll at that time, and people were not having it. They're like, stay with Asia. But yeah, it's true. I kept the A anywhere. I was thinking
Right.
about it, but we're still Asia for now. Maybe it's true. Maybe it'll change if I move. But yeah, exciting. So it's really cool to have you. I know you always, we call this hacks. You're like, you love Seller Central, or you studied the ins and the outs of Amazon Seller Central, right? I mean, that's kind of how I know you as a Seller Central guy. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, well, we spend a large portion of the day in Seller Central, working with our clients, my team and I. So it's we hang out, long hours in it, and inevitably, discover things that are, sometimes not so obvious, but sometimes there's also some areas where, people maybe see people see them all the time, but never really use them or never really exploit. And Amazon, all that can be said about Amazon, whether good or bad. I think some of the great things is they keep adding to their platform. They keep trying to make it better, and they keep adding tools. So that's something that I think we have been utilizing a lot of these new tools, new opportunities that I think can add some value to other people,
For sure.
people listening.
Yeah, so we'll go through some of those today, and then I'm also happy you're willing to share some of your insights also with our private GFA VIP members in a couple weeks. Date to be determined. We'll confirm, with the members. So that'll be also afterwards for those people that support in the private community. But of course, I think today alone is going to be amazing. We already kind of going through some of the bullet points, and I think it's just going down the list, and I could try to give my comment, but I think you're leading the charge today.
Awesome. Yeah, and I there's a few there that I guess we discussed. We'll keep them VIP, top of the list stuff. Right now, I want to cover some important stuff, and I think some of these things people have heard about. A lot of the things that I'm going to share require a brand registry on Amazon, which basically is having a trademark and then getting that registered with Amazon. But really wanted to touch on, if you don't have brand registry, the old way we were getting it was just going around finding a trademark attorney and then getting the process started. And it usually took about, I want to say 9 to 12 months to get that trademark registered, and only then go to Amazon and say, hey, here's my trademark, to get the brand registry access. We don't do that anymore. We're getting now brand registry in a month, maybe sometimes less. And this is what I recommend everybody to do, just to use the Amazon IP Accelerator. It's not hard to find. You can just Google Amazon IP Accelerator and make sure you start the process from there. If you start the process outside, you will not be able to do this. And what really is getting your trademark through one of the trademark attorneys that Amazon has vetted, and you will be able to get brand registry access when your trademark application is filed, instead of when your trademark is completely approved and registered. And the filing takes just a few weeks. So, and it could be the difference for a new brand that you're launching, or perhaps your first product ever. You'll be able to have all the stuff that I'm going to talk about, as well as more things that such as your storefront, your EBC, running sponsored brands ads, things that I think we probably won't cover today, that are more everyday stuff, but that's very important to know.
Yeah, no, I totally second that. I've done it myself a few times, 2 times now, maybe 3. No, 2. I think the other way I did it with just normal trademark outside, and then but the one part though, there's quite a few service providers in there, and then I just hit like contact. I spent like I hit contacts like quote, 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 quote. I have one I've worked with twice. I don't really feel comfortable promoting the firm because, it's dangerous if they, but I guess they're all vetted. But there's one in Florida, actually. Maybe I can, I don't know. I don't really want to say it because I mean, it could. But yeah, you have to choose one of them, right? And they list out their firms, and they all have different pricing and policies and procedures that you use. You're directly working with them, but then they give you some kind of a code. It's so confusing. A little bit. You have a case number or something, and you put it in, and then it can unlock your brand registry. They usually guide you on it, and then they usually tell you, "Don't keep harassing me for the, because a lot of sellers are pushing them for the code to unlock brand registry."
Yeah.
And so they always say, don't ask me. You got to wait. If you do it before I say, you might not get it. Something like this. Like they have these notices when I've done it, But
yeah, I think on average for us, it's been about a month, maybe slightly less than that. And I'll share something very, very, very interesting that happened. Even we have a client that we did the IP Accelerator, right? We got brand registry, everything was great, and guess what? Few months later, the trademark application with the U.S. government got rejected. Right? They said, like, sorry, there's too much market confusion. There's other brands that have some similar name and sell similar stuff, right? But not suggesting you do this, but like, knock on wood, we still have our brand registry access with Amazon.
Yeah.
And they haven't even touched on the subject, right? Which is perhaps it's like a secret perk, right? That come from doing the IP Accelerator.
I think it almost depends on the firm, because the firm I work with told me if it's maybe they're trying to sell me more, but they made me pay another fee because they said something like it might be a problem, and they charged me like $100 or $200 more to try to solve that, because they said if it's rejected, they said it might work like you're saying, but they won't let it because they don't want to get in trouble by Amazon. So they will like tell Amazon something like, so maybe it depends on the firm you use, but they were saying like,
could be,
they were saying like we would feel obligated to, I don't know. But that's kind of what I recall her saying. I mean, knock on wood for all of us. But there's also the choice of, we're getting into too much trademark law here, but there's also in use or intent to use. So you could also prove later that you're using it to buy time and still get brand registry. You don't have to have it in use yet. A last tip from my experience. But yeah, it's of course also faster if you as a filer know what you want. If you're doing it for the first time, you have no clue, and then you gotta like look up all the categories and fill out the form slowly. If you have everything ready, I know you do and I do, but some people, if it's your first time, it might take a little bit longer. But yeah, it's definitely faster. So it's a great tip.
Awesome. Well, okay, so let's if let's say you started the process, we fast forward from there. In terms of what I'm going to talk about right now is a lot of the things that you get unlocked in the brands tab of Seller Central. It's usually the one the very end, and I can just go through a few of these and how we are using them for our clients. The first one, hugely underutilized, is Amazon Posts. And Amazon Posts, this one is within, it gets unlocked within Campaign Manager. In Campaign Manager, you have to go to the bottom left. You'll see a little, I think it's a gear icon or a little like app icon. And then click on that, you get an option for posts. And Amazon Posts is basically like Amazon's own Instagram, as in it shows as a feed. It's very image driven. So there's an image, and then you get an option to add some text, some captions. And also you must link it with an ASIN or ASINs. Each post has to be linked to a product. And it looks like a feed, right? Just like an Instagram feed. And there's a few important things about it. First of all, one of the reasons you want to do it is because it's getting a lot of engagement. We're getting, let me give you an example. there's a brand where we're where we're getting about 1,000 clicks a week from Amazon posts, right? And these are free clicks, right? These are clicks to our listings. And with that same brand on PPC, we're paying on average about $2 per click, right? $2.50 per click. So if we do the math, we're getting about $2,000 of free ad spend by simply using Amazon Posts and using it often, right? So that is one of the reasons you want to use it. There's a few more things. Is Amazon Posts will show on your listing upon scrolling down, usually above the reviews area. People will be able to see them. Not just that, people will be able to, there's a follow button. People will be able to follow your brand, just like somebody can follow another account on Instagram. And I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later, what that really means when you have followers. Another thing about Amazon Posts is we have seen them appear in the search results as well. It seems like Amazon is testing that. Sometimes they appear, sometimes they don't. Also depends on the category. But that's a huge opportunity for discoverability, and that is also free, right? Yeah. Because there's no Amazon Posts sponsored, which is one of my I suspect it will be coming True. At some point.
We all know
as Amazon monetizes more.
They make that money, man. They find a way.
Right. The other thing, the last thing is Amazon Posts appear on your storefront. It appears it's going to be the last tab of your storefront, and where people can also subscribe to follow your brand on Amazon. And the storefront is just an infinite feed where people can just post up and down the Amazon posts. You want to have a few of the ways it's different from Instagram is that you obviously cannot do hashtags or tags of anything sending people outside Amazon. You gotta keep it within the ecosystem, but you can promote with your captions. And what you want to do is to get probably enough posts so that someone would have to scroll up and down for, maybe 5 minutes or a couple of minutes, let's say at the beginning, without running out, right? You want to get them that effect of, that sense of infinite feed, number one. Number two is you want to rotate your products, right? You want to show, if you have 5 products, product 1, product 2, product 3, product. So you want to go one by one and then cycle it back. I think that from the testing that we've done, that increases chances of, having the customer or the shopper see what options are available and end up, in your ecosystem. You can track. Amazon shares with you a dashboard of Amazon Posts where you can see, the views and then the engagement and then how many clicks each post got. So you can also track the performance that they're getting at the individual level.
I like it, man. A couple point questions for me. I guess it doesn't matter if you're duplicating it across like Instagram, Facebook, website, the same content. Of course, you're not interlinking because Amazon policies or whatever, but I think you could utilize the similar content and text maybe.
It's if you have already an Instagram account and there's some content there, even if it's old, it is low-hanging fruit to repurpose that content over to Amazon. And I know sometimes with Instagram, just depending if you use some influencer or something, you have to watch out for the rights to replicate that content. But other than that, is an easy move to repurpose that.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's a good one for sure.
So that's one of them, Amazon Posts. Another one I wanted to talk about, and this one I'm sure a lot have heard, that is Amazon Vine. And this is where, we're launching products, in my opinion, the best way to get reviews right now.
Oh, really?
Completely aligned with Amazon. It's what Amazon wants you to do. I'm not going to talk about the basics, which is Vine you can get up 30 reviews. It used to be free. Now there's a fee. It's $200 per product. And what we are doing is when launching a product with variations, let's say you plan to launch a product that has, 10 variations, right? What we're doing is we're not launching them as a parent at the beginning. Rather, we're launching them as individual standalone listings.
All right.
And then we're enrolling each individual listing. You can do up to 5. Some accounts can do up to 20. I think I've even seen accounts that can do up to 50, depending on if you belong to other Amazon programs. The thing is, then you want to enroll each individual product to Amazon Vine. Yes, you'll have to pay the fee for each of them, right? And then what happens is each of them will qualify to get up to 30 reviews from Amazon Vine. So we're waiting until people claim the units, people start, leaving their reviews in, and only then we're putting them together as a parent. So we're, 5xing in the least the amount of 30 reviews. We're talking in, depends on how fast people review it, but in 6 months, you could get 150 reviews instead of just 30. If you launch them as a parent, then you'll only be able to enroll the parent as a whole, right? And that will limit you to 30 reviews. These days, it's expensive. If we calculate cost per review with Amazon Vine, it's just a few bucks, and it just makes the most sense. If you create the product, if you create your product, your parent listing first, and then you break it up, you already messed up. If you try to enroll those on Vine this way, they'll get rejected.
Got it. That's really big tip, man. That's really. I have never used Vine, to be honest. I've heard reviews where they're actually more critical. These Vine reviewers, and they almost have to be critical because they feel like if you give everybody like 5-star, they won't be as neutral of a reviewer. So I don't know if you understand what I mean, but some sellers have told me like they feel like they have to give them a 3-star, 4-star, maybe even less sometimes, because they have to kind of have negative or not. Can't give everybody 5. Even I feel like that as a customer, as a normal customer. Of course, I don't want to, with books or stuff I buy, I don't want to give everybody 5. So that's one concern about Vine. I don't know if you feel.
Yeah, I would say I love it. Like you just feel obligated to more strict. I would say on average, the Vine ratings we've got are probably 4.5 stars. If I had to give an average there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few things that obviously don't make much sense. For example, these people are getting the product for free, yet some people comment about the price of the product, especially the ones that are critical. But again, on our experience, it has been overwhelmingly positive. And granted, it has to do with the quality of your product and all that. What I would say, here's a hack, is if your first batch you send to Amazon, let's say you have 1,000 units, right? Only send to Amazon 100, let's say, for for a given product, right? And then in that 100, you yourself inspect every single unit, and add a 100 note to them. Say, hey, thank you so much. I'm the owner. This is Michael. I'm here for you. Here's my email. Here's my phone number. Just let me know if you need anything. Maybe add some little add-on, some little gift in there, right? For those 100 units, send those in. Make sure that those are the ones that the Vine reviewer claims, and I think your chances of it being positive are going to be high. Then after they got claimed, just send the rest. Send your stock that is just regular stock, and you're good.
Yeah. I love the hack.
An old school eBay hack.
True. That's a great one. Of course, it's a little bit tricky from China, but if you have 3PLs or other ways, you could do that more easily.
True. It's or even from production. Just make sure they don't write the note in Chinese if it's going to the US.
I've heard of the worst. No, you made me think of one. I think it was AliExpress. Somebody got like a bloody dress and it said, "Help me, I'm in prison," or something
Oh
in
wow.
Chinese. Something
Yeah.
like that. Oh man. Yeah.
There is I know what you're talking about. There's actually many stories about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on. Just the note part got me thinking. Anyway, that's a great tip. So yeah, okay, fine. I'll try it out then. That's awesome. And then
So the next one is and this one is not so much a tip. It's just something that you ought to be using, and that's virtual bundles. And virtual bundles is just the ability to create ASINs in Amazon system of two products, FBA products that are being sold, separately. You send the stock for each of them separately, but virtually you're creating a bundle where they are sold and shipped together, right, to a customer. You get an option to add new images for that bundle. It becomes an ASIN. You cannot run sponsored product ads for it, but you can run sponsored brands ads, and then you can add the images for that. You can add the bullet points, title, basically as if it were a little bit more basic of a listing. You can also edit the price, so it helps if you give it a small discount there, like bought together, maybe like 5% off or something like that. A couple of things is it works. It works. Especially if you bundle things that go well together, people do buy them. Right now, it shows only on desktop, right? And probably the most important insight is, even if here's the thing, like if you're selling, let's say you're selling your coffee products, right? But then somewhere in that Seller Central account, you're also selling that, let's say that pink flamingo you have there on, behind you, something that has nothing to
this is our
do.
newest brand products too, but
Got
go
it.
ahead, sorry.
So
Yeah, this is like
okay,
polishing cloth. Excalibur Brothers is a new brand. It's medieval brand name, but it's like men's gift. But yeah, the flamingo is something cool I'd play with too.
so things that have nothing to do with each other, right? Would you still want to create a virtual bundle for that, right? And many people listening might say, well, no, they don't make any sense. But what I would say is it would be an amazing and very important defensive strategy to do so, right? And the reason for that is, right now the virtual bundles appear on desktop, and they appear below the frequently bought together section you're listing. And they take on a huge amount of real estate on the page. And once you activate them, it pushes down the sponsored products carousel, where you may have a lot of competitors, right? It pushes that below the fold, and the shopper, everything they see is more of your products. So, even if you don't have anything that goes well together, for that reason alone is worth deploying it. And then one other thought about that is, Amazon now, there's a few ways to get sales data. In business reports, however, you'll only get impressions for your virtual bundles. You will not get sales figures for your virtual bundles, because the sales figures are going to the individual products, right? However, we created a system to figure out and actually get us real sales data and conversion rates for these virtual bundles.
That's great.
That's the next one. Yeah. Have you used them yet, Mike?
So, I'm showing this, we're doing a new case study, but the coffee product brand I sold a couple of years ago, and I've been between brands since, and this one's hopefully going to launch in June, maybe May. This literally, this production is a wine polishing cloth and a leather. We have 4 different ASINs products that we're doing actually under a brand licensing model. Basically, I don't believe virtual bundles existed in 2019, did they? Or maybe they did. I didn't know about them. Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe. But I haven't had experience. virtual bundles. I've heard of it, but I haven't myself.
Got it. So it also part of brand registry. The next thing is and this one back to that brands tab in Seller Central. So in there you'll find virtual bundles. Another thing you'll find there is a section that's called Manage Experiments, and this one is really cool. This is a real A/B testing that you can do on Amazon. It's been around for a little bit of time already, but when we look at account, excuse me, a little dry throat. When looking at accounts, is overwhelming to see how many brands, how many sellers are not using it, right? And this allows you to A/B test your title, A/B test your main image, A/B test your EBC, right? And wanted to share a case study we did a few weeks ago with one client. We have a product that is selling, really well, right? Like into the 6 figures per month, just one SKU. So a very nice amount of traffic. And then we decided to do an EBC. So the EBC we had before was very technical, right? Tech specs, very, I guess, logical, not much content that make the person, let's say, emotional, right? In a buying state. It was more for the person looking for information. So we decided to A/B test that EBC against an EBC that was polar opposite. EBC that was all about lifestyle, showing people, showing emotions, showing faces, and then a little bit of information just in badges, right? Lo and behold, Mike, which one do you think did better?
I'm gonna go with the informational one.
All right. It wasn't. It was the other one.
Oh, really?
The one that was more emotional.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? So that was just one experiment. So it showed basically a higher conversion rate. Like it's the A/B testing with the managed experiments basically shows you is how many sessions went to each version, right? And then how many orders, and then what the conversion rate was for each of them. And the cool thing is that the split was very even to like 50-50 in terms of traffic. Like Amazon is really splitting the traffic evenly. This one had a higher conversion rate, and it even shows you how much more money, right? You make with the winner, and we didn't just end it there, right? So yes, the test was run, but we say, okay, let's look at our whole catalog, right? This is a catalog that has maybe like 20 to 30 products of the same nature. Mike, we implemented not the same EBC, but the concept of that EBC that won, the emotional one, across the whole catalog, right? And it basically ticked up sales. So if doing so with this product, let's say generated an extra $5,000 or so per month, right, from what it was doing compared to the previous version, right? We implemented that across the catalog, and that it's not $5,000 more per product, because some products just sell less, right? But it's probably generated, I would say, $20,000 more a month across the catalog with some of the other bestsellers there.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important. And that's just EBC, right? EBC, in my opinion, has less impact than main image, and maybe at par with title. Title is more like a CTR game. Main image is both, but there's all the case studies about that. But I think this one for now is good.
Got it. Yeah, I get it. No, I always think of the title as like the email subject of an email, right? To get them to click, right? You say CTR, click through. Yeah, just want to get them into the page. Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah, and sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
The other thing about this is we're testing right now. When you A/B test the title, we're testing if the B version keywords you add in there index in the Amazon system, right? Because your control, your A version, right, is your regular title, right? We're still need some more evidence, but figuring out that the version B has some ranking indexing juice. So more, maybe in some time we'll be able to put together some kind of case study or results from that.
That's pretty awesome. Imagine that, yeah, after indexing B experiment data. Well, man, it's been fascinating, man. I mean, you're like, I can't imagine what other amazing things you also have. I mean, this is just a tip, but thank you, Daniel. I mean, really appreciate this insights. I'm already taking notes and be implementing some of these for Nick Scholar Brothers. This is cool. So,
awesome.
Save the rest for later, or what? Or how are we doing?
Yeah. No, I have still a list here.
I know, man. I don't know.
But we should do a continuation of this another time.
Yep.
And I'm excited to. There's a couple things there that are perhaps too powerful to share just openly, maybe to your VIPs.
Yeah.
Kind of reward them their loyalty.
Exactly. We'll be doing that probably the end of April. We'll sync up with them and you to find the best time to do that session, and that'll be fun. Okay, buddy. And then, as always, amzclever.com, right, is your agency website. What's the best way? The best way for people to find you or get some insights or help?
Yeah. So we are a full account management, PPC management, Amazon, Walmart agency. And the best way is to go to our website, amzclever.com, or my email is daniel@amzclever.com. I know that sometimes it's advised not to share your email on a podcast. I don't care. If you want to reach out to me, ask me a question of anything I can be of help, just shoot me a line, and then trying to connect with people.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I know you always give such good insights. So definitely recommend those that are able to work with you should definitely do so. You've done amazing things for these accounts. I've seen it myself. So thank you, Daniel. And then also, I know we're loading you up, but there's gonna be the online cross-border matchmaker. So I think we're still confirming it, but it looks like it'll be June 16th, 17th online. We'll be in touch with you about a time, but it'll be like some panels with some other people in the community to share. So it'll be great if you could make that.
Love it.
All right. Well, there it was. I did that at night. I know Aubrey was not available for that. It was just me and Daniel. I was sitting in the dark here, Aubrey. I don't know if I don't like to have the lights above me. Yeah, I'm weird. I like I'm in my cave or something anyway. But Daniel always delivers amazing value. I think you already saw, Aubrey. I took some notes. I put them in the show notes, but I also asked our Amazon team to review those as well, because Daniel gave amazing insights. He doesn't hold back at all. So I know you are learning a lot too, right, Aubrey?
Yeah, definitely. And of course, those insights will definitely helpful for our team and of course to our community. And I believe he will give us some, extra efforts, right? And
Yeah.
he will give us some bonus.
So you're right. So after the interview, he was chatting to me, and he's always, I don't know if you heard this, Aubrey, but he's really appreciative of the community. He's made a lot of good connections and friends and clients from our Global from Asia community. So, full disclosure, I don't want to hide it, but he will give us a little bonus if people sign up from the show. But also he'll also offer at no additional price you probably actually get a better deal. But if you say you came from GFA or just use a keyword GFA, when you email him or reach out to his agency, he'll add. He won't do it forever because his podcast is going to be online for years from now. But he says while he's able to, he'll give a 15-minute free phone consultation to the people that come in with GFA. So that's an amazing deal. Anybody that was just listen to that knows he's an expert. So that sounds like a great little deal. No strings attached offer.
Yeah, so our community should watch out for that and go grab that opportunity as well.
Exactly.
So, I think he's also trying to or will be attending our event, the CBM, right? And I would like to take this opportunity to invite also our listeners, viewers, etc., to join us on that. Save the date, June 16, 17. We're definitely going to have lots of valuable speakers, panels, discussions, and round tables. So I'm really excited for that.
I know. We still got to try to get you to China, Aubrey, somehow. Maybe if you want to. I think you got your passport ready. We might do something in person in China. Honestly, I don't know if it filled you in, Aubrey, but the dream of Cross Border Matchmaker brand is to do online and offline together. We've been doing really good with our monthly members calls, which has been great, and other online events we've been doing, and you and the team have been really amazing. So we might do a small, because especially in China, people either can't even log into the online or are not into it. So we're experimenting. Wendy, my wife and amazing part of this community too, she just helps a lot with our events in China. So we're thinking to do it where we have the online event on the screen, and then we have a smaller group in person, maybe in China, maybe even in the Philippines. I don't know. We still are learning this online and offline together, but that's one thing. And then we did this last year for a Cross-Border Matchmaker online, and we've done Cross-Border Matchmaker in person at least three times or more, 2017, 18, 19. And then we did 21 in person. I think we skipped 2020 for this one, but it's not like a normal event. Actually, we have testimonials and feedback at crossbordermatchmaker.com if you want to check those out in previous videos from last year, but it's not this normal one. We don't want to make it a normal boring one where it's just a speaker with PPT and you're just watching a PowerPoint, because of course you can just watch YouTube, right? Like, why would you come in to watch a PowerPoint? So what we really do is panel only. Like Daniel will be on a panel with other Amazon experts. We have some really great people in our community. Actually, we haven't finished inviting everyone. You're helping run a survey, but we always get great people, and it will be Q&A panels about hot topics. Like last year, you checked the survey. People's favorite stuff was the Amazon acquisition aggregators topic, and we bring some of the best people in the space to share, and they really, like Daniel, really appreciate us and our community, and they really don't hold back. It's not this boring kind of like fluffy stuff. It's like deep, real insights, and people can ask questions. And then the real big bonus is we have the roundtables. So every panel has roundtables after, which is this online event. So you can network with the speakers and other experts and people in the community. So it's this alternating panel, roundtable, which I don't know if I've seen in other events, but we barely have any real PowerPoint. It's almost like banned, I think, in this environment.
Yeah, so really the great value of, meeting people, really connecting with them. They can build a long life relationship for their businesses and also for personal matters, right?
Exactly.
So I'm really excited for this one.
And then I think the other one that's going to be unique to last year is we're going to have a graduating kind of class of the first Blimp cohort, which we had this, a very limited beta group of our first batch of franchisees that went through this case study with Excalibur Brothers. I know you were on a call with us a couple of days ago. Honestly, it's never easy, but it's been even extra hard with the lockdowns and the COVID and logistics. But I hope by mid-June we have these listings live on Amazon, and we'll have these franchisees sharing on that panel as well, where you'll hear from them and see the story. And we'll also open up applications for the next. So if you were interested in the Blimp program and you see what they're doing, I know we already have a waiting list at blimpmethod.com, but if you want to get extra likelihood to get accepted, attending the CBM and seeing and talking to them and talking to us, right? We'll have like some networking booth so people could sign up or apply. We don't accept anyone, but apply for the next Blimp Method program. So it's going to be an exciting time. We got a lot of amazing things to share. And honestly, and shout out to Aubrey, you're really amazing, helping us keep everything rolling with these shows and the community and the event. So thank you, Aubrey.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So yeah.
All right, I guess this is a little bit longer of our, I don't know if you heard, I call it the blah, blah, blah sometimes after the interview, but if people didn't like it, they could have skipped by now, but we're super excited about CBM 2022. So, there's lots to do, and we'll be sharing in the next episodes as well. And thanks, Daniel, of course, for sharing. This will be on globalfromasia.com. Thank you, everybody.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.